Speaker, I move, seconded by the Premier, that this House approves in general the budgetary policy of the government.
The Minister of Finance has moved, seconded by the Premier, that this House approves in general the budgetary policy of the government. I would now like to ask for all of your indulgence while pages deliver the budget to each member. And I will now ask the pages to deliver the budget to the members. Check to see if a record has been set. I'm just checking. They're going to be checking the time. Pages, another record has been set. I recognize the Minister of Finance.
Okay, where do we go here? Okay, so we're good to read out the budget now. That's what my little green paper says here. Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a great day to be an Ontarian. It's a great day to be a Canadian. And thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, I have often spoken of my parents when introducing our budgets. You know, my parents left war-torn Europe for a better life, filled with hope for freedom, opportunity, and safety. Madam Speaker, they found it here in Ontario, here in Canada. Sadly, they are no longer with us. My father passed away last summer and my mother some 2 years ago. But, Madam Speaker, their legacy lives on. It lives on not only in this Finance Minister, but as well in each and every one of the 124 legislators who serve here at Queen's Park. Each one of us who works tirelessly, day in and day out collectively, so that Ontario we inherited from the previous generations continues through us for future generations. Madam Speaker, I dedicate this budget to the legacy of my parents who love Canada and every single one of the 124 legislators who work hard each day to carry on that legacy, the legacy of hope, freedom and opportunity in the greatest country in the world. Madam Speaker, au nom de
In the name of Doug Ford and the entire government of Ontario, I have the honor today to present Ontario's 2026 budget, a plan to protect Ontario.
The entire government of Ontario, it is my honor today to present to you the 2026 Ontario provincial budget, a plan to protect Ontario. Madam Speaker, the last year has been marked by significant change in the world around us. And while our province has been meeting these challenges head-on, we need to recognize that Ontario does not operate in isolation. On the contrary, we're part of a vast network of global trade that, until now, has created certainty and growth for generations of workers, families and businesses in this province and around the world. I say until now, Madam Speaker, because geopolitical forces that may have once felt distant have now reached our shores. Global economic and trade tensions, supply chain disruptions, shifting markets. Simply put, the world has changed, and we must change with it. We, Madam Speaker, must continue to stand ready to face whatever these changes may bring. Across Ontario, we are already seeing the effects of that economic uncertainty and having on our nation's economy. This year alone, we have seen our fellow provinces announce record deficits, increased taxes, and job cuts in the public sector. Well, Madam Speaker, I'm here to tell you that in Toronto, Ontario, Freudian slip, in Ontario, that is not our path. Here in Ontario, we believe in making life more affordable for people and businesses, supporting job growth, and delivering on the programs and services that the people and families depend on efficiently and sustainably. Our plan is cautious where it must be and ambitious where it should be. You know, Madam Speaker, many said we couldn't do it. They said we would lose jobs, that we would lose businesses. They said we would come out of this weaker than before. Well, Madam Speaker, it is with our heads held high that our government can confidently say Ontario workers, Ontario businesses, and Ontario families defied the critics. Not only has Ontario created 1 million jobs since 2018, but last year created 81,000 new jobs, all of which were in the private sector. And our economy grew by 1.2%, higher than projected by the private sector. Prosperity, Madam Speaker, is Ontario's path. And we were able to choose this path because our fiscal firepower allowed us to do so. Our government's prudent and responsible management of Ontario's finances has allowed us to protect and grow our economy, all without having to raise taxes or fees on the people and businesses who work day in and day out to make this the greatest province, the greatest country in all of the world. We cannot eliminate uncertainty, Madam Speaker, but we can mitigate risks through a responsible, balanced fiscal approach that creates jobs, grows our economy, and maintains the flexibility needed to support vital public services and infrastructure. Now, Madam Speaker, despite global economic headwinds, Ontario's economy showed resilience in 2025. Real GDP grew by 1.2%, higher than the 0.8% forecasted in last year's budget, reflecting the hard work and people and businesses across the province. But we remain vigilant. Growth is uneven, and the outlook is uncertain. We know in our province many are still feeling the pressure, and that is exactly why our pragmatic, stable plan matters. Our world has changed, and we must change with it. And our numbers show that our plan is working. Many key projections outperformed the targets in last year's budget and fall economic statement. In fact, Ontario is one of the few reporting provinces with a path to balance and one of the lowest deficits in all of Canada relative to GDP. And for the first time in 2 decades, Madam Speaker, Ontario received 2 credit rating upgrades, maintaining AA ratings across all 4 major credit rating agencies. Now, Madam Speaker, we're not doing these things just to check a box. They're clear signs that we've been responsible with taxpayers' money. Because when we respect taxpayers' money, when we keep costs down and put more money back in people's and businesses' pockets, we free up more resources to boost our economy and pay for investments in the services that matter most. We will keep going, Madam Speaker. As the Premier has repeatedly said, there is nothing we won't do to protect Ontario. And protecting Ontario means protecting the economic foundations that make our province strong and investing to generate sustainable returns that compound for future generations, Madam Speaker. And to do that, our government is going to be accelerating our investments in Canadian-owned and Ontario-owned companies in the high-growth sectors of most important to our economic prosperity. Sectors like artificial intelligence, defence, advanced manufacturing, life sciences, energy, critical minerals, and many more. This is a clear mark of economic maturity, Madam Speaker, and a signal that Ontario must continue to shape its own economic destiny, not outsource it. We have the markets, Madam Speaker. We have the resources. We have the workers. We have the talent. And we have the entrepreneurs. And we have the political will. Our country is ready. That is why I'm pleased to announce here today that our government is moving to fortify our economy even further through the new Protect Ontario Account Investment Fund. Now, this $4 billion fund will be a critical tool for investing in Ontario's growth, to identify and execute on a pipeline of new opportunities that will advance Ontario's long-term economic growth and strategic priorities, making our province a winner, not just for this decade, but for the next century. Our strategy is setting the stage for Ontario's continued economic success in the midst of a changing world. And in this changing world, Ontario must change as well. We need to diversify, strengthen key sectors, and not only retain but reinforce the competitive advantages that set us apart from the rest of the G7 group of nations. Because if we want to make this decade and beyond ours, we must drive competitiveness to attract new investment and encourage businesses to choose Ontario. Now, earlier this year, members of the Standing Committee on Finance and Economic Affairs and I each held annual pre-budget consultation tours, some 35 in total. Thank you to all of you and the members here for your hard work. Don't want applause over there. And in our travels, one message we heard consistently from organizations like the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and businesses right across Ontario was the need to boost competitiveness and reduce the cost of doing business. We hear them, Madam Speaker, and we couldn't agree more. And that is why I'm glad to announce our government's plan to lower the cost of capital investments for a broad range of assets, providing over $3.5 billion of income tax relief over 4 years for businesses here in Ontario. Madam Speaker, we've said it before, and I'll say it again. We will keep going. Businesses, and small businesses in particular, are the beating heart of Ontario and Canada's economic engine, and we always have their backs. That is why this year alone the government is providing $10 billion in cost savings and support to businesses right across this province. And thanks to the many advocates of Ontario's business community, like the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, we know just how impactful these savings are. But at a time when the very heart of our economy is at stake, our government is stepping up to deliver even more. And so today, we are also announcing an historic tax cut for small business by lowering their tax rate by over 30% from 3.2 to 2.2%. This provides $1.1 billion in income tax relief for more than 375,000 businesses over the next 3 years. These small businesses who invest in our economy, invest in jobs, and keep moving Ontario forward. and we are building the competitive landscape that our economy needs in order to create the environment for even greater job growth. And in looking to secure a strong economy for future generations, we must also look to help businesses diversify and expand their trade capabilities within Canada and around the world, to build new partnerships, seek out new supply chains, and generate even greater opportunities for growth. Our government's actions are fostering a more predictable, competitive business environment here at home, Madam Speaker. Actions that deliver economic prosperity, like our $150 million Ontario Together Trade Fund, which is helping businesses diversify into new markets, strengthen trade resiliency, and reshore critical supply chains, while building new bridges by diversifying our network of reliable trading partners to benefit both Ontario and Canada as a whole. And we all know, Madam Speaker, as Ontario goes, Canada goes. We are the economic engine of Confederation, and that is exactly why we have taken the leadership position in actively advancing Canadian free trade. We were the first province to lift all barriers under the Canadian Free Trade Agreement. And we expanded labour mobility regulations to encourage and empower more workers from right across Canada to come work in Ontario. Our resolve to remove trade barriers and spur economic growth has never been stronger. And that strength will continue to grow. Because when you are on Team Ontario and Team Canada, your team always wins. Madam Speaker, freeing up Canadian trade is but one pillar. We are also speeding up approvals for major projects through the One Project, One Process framework for advanced exploration and mine development and expansion, such as the Frontier Lithium PAC lithium project near Red Lake, like the Canadian Nickel Company Crawford's Nickel project up near Timmins, and Kinross Gold's Great Bear project, also near Red Lake. And I promise you, Madam Speaker, there will be many more. Right, Mr. Lache? Many more. Because we know now is the time to unleash the untapped potential of our province's critical mineral reserves, bringing much-needed prosperity to Northern Ontario and fortifying our economic sovereignty. And we are doing this alongside First Nation partners, including the Roads to the Ring of Fire, with a plan to accelerate construction 5 years ahead of schedule. Madam Speaker, while the Ring of Fire has been talked about for nearly 20 years, we are making it happen. This is a government that doesn't just think big, we do big things, bold things, and it starts with productivity and innovation. Ontario's long-term prosperity depends on our ability to increase output per worker and per dollar capital. And that means we must double down on our efforts to accelerate the development and adoption of new technology, attract private investment, and commercialize Ontario-made research. And this is why we're investing in sectors like life sciences, advanced manufacturing, and emerging defense technologies. And I'm proud to say that our efforts are garnering results. For example, our province's higher-than-projected economic growth is a reflection of the hard work and success of our private sector, including firms in the AI space, of which we already have a world-leading sector here in Ontario. Look no further than the Vector Institute, one of Ontario and Canada's leading research organizations dedicated to empowering research and innovation. Our $107 million Critical Technology Initiative has supported them with a $27 million investment. And by combining their expertise in the field with our powerful balance sheet, we are generating economic growth for the long term. And it has been never more important for us to invest in our homegrown talent and innovation. But with the development of new technologies, rapidly advancing, we must focus on protecting and commercializing our intellectual property to support future generations of economic prosperity. This is why Intellectual Property Ontario was launched 3 years ago. So far, IPON, which it is called, has supported over 1,200 companies with the tools they need to strengthen and commercialize their intellectual property here at home. So we're making sure that Ontario is the best place to do business, helping companies stay competitive, scale up, and grow right here in Ontario. And to support that growth, we need the right foundations in place. So take the Building Ontario Fund, our government's out-of-the-box thinking, allowing companies to partner with Canadian institutional investors to build critical projects that might not otherwise get built, such as the Rakai Long-Term Care Home Project, the Toronto Metropolitan University Student Housing Project, and the High Arts Affordable Housing Project. These are just a few because, Madam Speaker, the status quo is not acceptable. Innovation, entrepreneurship, and pursuing dreams starts early. We're taking a comprehensive approach to building Ontario's workforce, from the classroom to the job site and beyond. That starts in our schools, where we're investing in required technology and skilled trade workshops in high school so young people can discover their strengths early. We're investing an additional $6.4 billion in our colleges and universities, training students for in-demand jobs by funding 70,000 more seats, including in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, as well as healthcare, skilled trades, and education. Thank you to the Minister of Colleges and Universities. And as our plan continues to create the conditions for growth and better jobs and bigger paychecks, we are investing $1.6 billion this year in skills and employment training so workers have the support they need to not only retrain and reskill, but to adapt, grow, and succeed at every stage of their careers. I thought that might get an applause from the Minister of Labour. This is the workforce our government wants to build today and for generations to come, Madam Speaker. And I'm proud to be part of a government that invests in our workforce pipeline from end to end to help make that dream possible, from grade school to high school, from the skilled trades to arts and science, from the shop floor to the construction site. We will be there for the great workers of Ontario. We will be there to help them train, retrain, and reskill, not only so we can secure long-term economic prosperity for future generations of Ontarians, but so that every man, woman, and child who chooses to do so can build a meaningful career, build the life they want for themselves and their family, and take part in the greatest workforce that the world has to offer. Our plan to grow Ontario's economy depends on our ability to maximize our leverage and have every advantage in every sector, from excellence in research to our talent pool and, of course, our heavy industries. With power demand set to potentially increase up to 90% by 2050, our ability to position ourselves for the future will depend greatly on our ability to power our economy. It's called energy security, Madam Speaker, and our government is working hard and fighting to ensure it. We are already advancing early-stage planning for new nuclear plants in Wesleyville and Bruce County, and refurbishing our vast array of nuclear power generating stations at Pickering, Bruce, and Darlington, a project which I might proudly add, as the Minister of Energy has told us, came in ahead of schedule and $150 million under budget. That's my kind of minister. Premier, you'll get a few too. And we are tackling the future of clean energy head-on with the first of its kind and our first of 4 small modular reactors at the Darlington nuclear site now under construction. And it is through the leadership of this Premier, with his vision, that we are generating thousands of jobs throughout the supply chain and powering the equivalent of 28 million homes, Madam Speaker. Our government's plan to expand Ontario's clean nuclear energy generating capacity is set to create 150,000 new job opportunities and add over $800 billion to our economy. This is about so much more than just keeping the lights on, Madam Speaker. It's about economic sovereignty. It's about investing for future generations. It's about protecting Ontario. And as part of our plan to protect and grow Ontario, we are making enormous strides forward in Ontario's advanced manufacturing sector. Having accounted for 36% of Canada's defence sector employment, the largest of any province, Ontario is well positioned to take full advantage of the growth we're seeing globally in the defence sector and continue playing a leading role in supplying national defence. With over 300 companies generating more than $5 billion in annual revenue and employing over 13,000 people, the defence industry plays to Ontario's strengths, like artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, cybersecurity, shipbuilding, aerospace, and others, which are shaping up to define Ontario's bright future as a national and international hub for defence manufacturing and innovation. Qualities that, if I might add, Madam Speaker, position us as the ideal candidate to host NATO's new Defence, Security and Resilience Bank right here in the financial research and manufacturing heart of our nation. Madam Speaker, if the Defence, Security and Resilience Bank aims to mobilize public and private capital to support defence, security and resilience projects, then Toronto, as Canada's largest financial centre with unmatched credibility, market expertise and global connectivity, should be the destination of choice for the bank's headquarters to finance defence projects for NATO, members and allied nations into the future. Because, Madam Speaker, when you invest in Ontario, you're not just moving money, you're building capabilities and developing resilience for future generations. And building for generations is exactly what our $210 billion infrastructure plan is about. It's about a vision for the future, a vision that uses the strength of our credit rating and balance sheet to build the critical infrastructure to keep goods moving and people working, to boost economic productivity and prosperity for generations to come. Critical infrastructure such as Ontario's vast highway network. We started construction on the Highway 413. We are building the Bradford Bypass. We're widening Highway 17 in Kenora, and we're expanding Highway 7 between Kitchener and Gulf. And at the same time, in my writing, we're expanding Highway 7 from Markham to Pickering to support the innovation corridor and keep people and goods moving across the region. But we're not just stopping at highways, Madam Speaker. We're also building subways and transit with the largest subway expansion in Ontario's history. The Ontario Line, the Scarborough Subway Extension, and yes, Madam Speaker, bringing back the Northlander. Madam Speaker, building is more than just getting shovels in the ground. It's about stimulating economic growth. It's about creating tens of thousands of jobs and construction jobs and right across the province. It's about helping people with affordability so that future generations have the tools to live in the place that they work and make a meaningful difference in the world. And above all, it's about building growing communities. In that vein, Madam Speaker, I'm proud to announce that we are building on our actions so far, and our government, in partnership with the federal government, is proposing to remove the full 13% of HST for eligible buyers of new homes valued up to $1 million. This would provide up to $130,000 in relief, and this amount would be maintained for new homes valued up to $1.5 million, helping more Ontarians achieve the dream of home ownership and building stronger communities across the province. Communities where a good-paying job and a safe neighbourhood and affordable place to call home are not the exception, but the rule. And as for our municipal partners across the province, they too have a role to play by working with us to lower development charges and bring down the cost of housing. Madam Speaker, just as we always have, we will continue to work with them as one united Team Ontario. And Madam Speaker, I want to make this perfectly clear. Every action our government has taken over the course of our plan to protect Ontario has been achievable thanks to efforts our government has made to maintain a fiscal prudent hand. Our fiscal responsibility has delivered investments to combat that uncertainty that is affecting Ontario businesses. But just as with our efforts to protect and support our businesses, Madam Speaker, we must also look to the people, families and communities who fuel this province and are facing their own challenges as well. Not only have we never raised a provincial tax on the people of businesses of Ontario, we've in fact cut taxes and fees and put more money back in their pockets. Removing Highway 407 East tolls, saving daily commuters $7,200 annually. Launching the One Fare program, saving the daily transit user an average of $1,600 annually. And gas and fuel tax cuts, saving households on average a total of $435 since July 2022. So, Madam Speaker, this is a government that invests responsibly so families, businesses and communities can get ahead. And essential to that is smart investments into public services that our communities depend on. Not just any investments, Madam Speaker, record investments. These are first and foremost for the benefit of the students, the patients, and the most vulnerable who depend on them. And they are for the benefit of the teachers, the personal support workers, the healthcare workers, and the social workers who deliver them. We will continue to be there for them, Madam Speaker. Because being a steward of public services goes beyond just keeping our communities healthy, active, or looked after. It also demands we spare no expense in keeping our families and communities safe from crime. Our brave police officers are working every single day, putting their own personal safety on the line in order to keep others safe. So before anything else, to every man and woman in uniform out there protecting our families and communities, I thank you. We will always have the backs of our brave police officers, Madam Speaker, and that is why we will continue to cover 100% of the tuition costs for basic constable training and deliver on our $1 billion expansion and renovation of the Ontario Police College in Aylmer and the Ontario Provincial Police Academy in Orillia. We continue to work to make Ontario a safer place to call home, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, we are going to continue our calls on the federal government to enact much-needed bail reform to keep repeat criminals out of our streets and behind bars, right where they belong. And secondly, Madam Speaker, we are going to ensure that we keep building our capacity to keep those criminals behind bars by building more jails and hiring over 700 more correctional officers and supporting staff to manage that increased correctional capacity. Since 2018, our government has allocated over $375 million to combat guns and gangs. Madam Speaker, our message to those who would threaten our families and communities with crime and violence, we will continue to be very clear. We are coming for you. And so I return to my central message. Our plan is working. It is cautious where it must be and ambitious where it should be. It protects people and services today, ensuring government programs are being delivered efficiently and sustainably for future generations. We are strengthening delivery of public services, managing the books responsibly, modernizing our programs, and reducing bureaucracy so resources can be focused where they matter most, delivering efficient, high-quality frontline services to the people who need them. Madam Speaker, as the world faces uncertainty, our government is here to tell people, businesses, families, and communities that we have a plan. Uncertainty, although abundant, is not absolute. And we've seen that there are measures and decisions we can make in order to mitigate it. Unlike others, Ontario's plan has prepared us for whatever the future may hold, without sacrificing the well-being of our people, cut services, or our economy. Ours is a responsible government, one that grows the economy by cutting taxes and investing in industry sectors, as I've mentioned, like technologies and others that workers will power our growth for future generations. One that breaks down barriers instead of putting them up, and one that delivers better services to people without sacrificing efficiency and sustainability. Madam Speaker, our government is here, armed with our plan, and I stand before you today to reaffirm our commitment to protect Ontario amid a changing and uncertain world. We will continue to lead by example and work with federal, provincial, territorial, and First Nation partners as one united team, one united people, one united province in a country that I am so immensely proud of. Let us work together. Let us build prosperity. Let us be resilient. Thank God, and God bless the people of Ontario. I messed it up at the end.